Hello students, today we will talk about the communications process and some related things about communications. What is communications? It fundamentally is an exchange of information. That is the simplest definition of communications. It is an exchange of information. And why is it important? It is important for you because you have to perform your job. You have to interact with people. Are these important things? Also, there are other things, because if you do this well, you will be able to organize your working better. And lastly, and not the least important, it is very important, you will be able to influence others. Is it important to influence others? Of course, in the workplace, it depends what ideas in your mind you can convey to the other people. You may be full of good ideas. You may have a very good solution to a problem. But if you cannot communicate it across to your manager or your colleagues, it stays in there doing nothing. So, influencing others comes about that. If you are talking to a customer, influencing the customer in a right manner, but it uses communication skills. Now, obviously, when you do all this, your productivity will go up, your results will go up, and what else? Your relationships with others will become better. Working in professional environments is not about individuals. It is about team. It is about how all of you work and how well you fit into that and contribute in a good manner. And the exchange of information is very important. So I will tell you something about the basics of the process by which this information is exchanged. You know, you can have formal communications, you can have informal communications. These are two types. A formal communication could be in form of, for example, an appointment letter your company gave you, or an application which you made in writing to somebody to do something, or a formal request you made to a colleague to give some details. And an informal aspect could be that you are discussing a problem, it is official work, but you are not going to be asked to give a written statement there, you are exchanging information and ideas. So, the first distinction is between formal and informal things. Obviously, when you are in formal communications, you have to be letter perfect, your grammar, punctuation, everything else has to be good, otherwise you will make a poor impact. And in informal communications, you may not necessarily be precise to that extent. However, I would recommend that you train yourself to be as precise as possible. Again, when you look into formal communications, you can have upward communication, you can have downward communication, which means you are moving something up, project detail or a request to your boss, it means upward. When he communicates to you, it is a downward communication. And similarly, you can have a horizontal communication, say communication to a colleague, and then you can have a diagonal communication also, which means not necessarily with your boss or your colleague or somebody is working under you, but with a third person. Now remember that you should always maintain yourself in a good communicative manner using whatever best means and learnings you get out of these, so that the exchange, the process of exchange is very, very real and serves its purpose. Obviously, as you can see, there will be differences on how you approach these dimensions. But as we get down into further lectures of communications, on written communications or verbal communications or spoken communications or listening skills, you will get down into further details on what are the most important points, how do you handle this. But remember, the process has to be effective and you have to be aware whether it's a formal or an informal situation and behave accordingly, whether it is moving upwards, coming downwards, responding to that back upwards, asking a colleague something, going horizontal. You have to master all these things. And as you can see, they will vary slightly in nature, but you have to master all of these forms. Now I'll come down to another important communication area which is prevalent in organizations. It's called the grapevine. What is the grapevine? It is an informal mechanism of people telling others and other people telling others, and somehow news or information which has not been officially communicated, or people may be wondering what's happening. The grapevine, which is one person's talk to another, the second person's to the third, brings out some details. Now, the grapevine exists because people have uncertainty. So it is due to uncertainty that the grapevine exists. Sometimes it is because of lack of confidence. Lack of confidence that a senior may not trust a junior with some information because he does not have confidence in the other person. But somehow the news gets down through some side channel and reaches the person. And sometimes it is because of sycophancy. Sycophancy means chamchagiri. It means that there is one person on whom the boss has big belief, whether he's good or not, and he is telling things and he is listening to things, and then this goes around. Now, you may wonder why we are talking about the grapevine. The grapevine is extremely important because it can be used. It has some advantages. It can be used to build relationships. It can be used to test out ideas. So managers use this channel for testing out ideas. Supposing they want to take a decision on a holiday, out of turn holiday, and they suddenly feel they should not give this holiday. Now they are unsure. We have talked about giving a holiday on that date. Now if we don't give it, what will the people feel? So they let it out through the grapevine, and they get it back through the grapevine that okay, it will not be a big issue. So they go ahead and taking a decision. So test of ideas and feedback. But there are problems also with this. Things get distorted. Rumors, rumor means false things get added up or incomplete information comes out. So when you get into the work environment, be aware there is a grapevine in existence, and the process has its uses and it has its dangers also. Stay clear of it. Do not participate in the grapevine for negative purposes. If it is to be used for a positive purpose, do go ahead. That is all for this lecture. In the next one, we'll go deeper into communications and how you can improve, what you can do, what the barriers are, and what other things are the strong things which you should pick up so that you become better in communications. Goodbye.